I'm Lois. I'm the founder of Restored Eden Physiotherapy. Welcome to Low Back Pain Pilates session 2. So we're just going to start by doing some hip circles. So let's just go round in circles. So we're moving our pelvis on our sacrum and lumbar region. So we're trying to get as much movement as we possibly can. And the aim of this session today is to get movement where our lower back might be really stiff. So by doing lots of mobility exercises around our hip and our lower back region, we're just hopefully going to get everything loosened up. So we're just going to stretch round to one side and then stretch round to the other side. So we're stretching our trunk, but our trunk is attached to our hips and our lower back, so we're having to do side flexion of our lower back. There's 6 movements of every joint in the spine that do flexion, extension, rotation to both sides, and left side flexion and right side flexion. So we're now going to do some rainbows. So we're going to come round and then extend our back. I'm actually under a monkey bar at the moment, so I'm, rather than hitting the monkey bar, I'm extending my back so that I don't hit it, but it's also helping me to get back extension. Often the reason why people get back pain is because they don't have enough extension in their back. So if you're stretching every day and making sure you've got full mobility that's changed direction in your back, then you're much less likely to experience any back pain. And the more you stretch, the more you exercise, the more you activate the muscles, the tiny muscles between each of the vertebrae, the much less likely you are to experience any kind of back pain, because you won't be stiff, because you'll be very mobile. So we're going to just rest our hands on the floor, and then we're going to alternate and transfer our weight from one leg to the other. So as we take all the weight on one leg, we're increasing the stretch through our hamstrings. And then we're going to walk around in one direction and then walk around in the other direction, but we're keeping our knees straight. And because we're keeping our knees straight, we're creating a lot of rotation in our lumbar spine. And now just rest. We want our hamstrings to stretch because our hamstrings attach really high up here, and if we've got tight hamstrings, then it pulls our hips backwards, and then it stops us from sitting up straight when we're in the chair. If you've got very tight hamstrings, then it causes you to slouch when you're in a chair because you just don't have the range of movement to be able to sit up straight. So we're going to not only stretch our hamstrings, but stretch our groin. Our hamstrings cover the entire back of our legs, and there's so many fibers in it. We want to be getting every single angle. So we're going to point our toes and we're stretching our groin, and then let's go in the other direction. So just coming down into that position. So it's a kind of like a Spider-Man position. My foot is on the floor. This hip is going right out and the other leg is straight. And then let's go to the other side again. We want to be moving our joints as much as possible. When we don't move them, they get very stiff very quickly, and when they get stiff, then there's a lack of synovial fluid in the joint, and the joint becomes unhealthy, and that's when you start to get degeneration. So if you keep doing lots of exercise, your muscles will be strong, and your joints will be getting a healthy amount of nutrition from the synovial joint that runs around them, and that's really good for you. So we're trying to get our hips moving as much as we can, and our lower back moving, and they work together. And if we've got healthy mobile hips, we're also working the muscles in our hips, then our back will move easier as well, and then we won't get back pain. There's like exceptions of how people can get back pain even though they do exercises, but we're just going by the fact that if you just had a stiff back and you just need to get it mobile, then this is what you need to do. So we're going to be pushing our knees to the floor, and now we're going to do a piriformis stretch. So piriformis is a horizontal muscle that is at the top of our bottom, and it goes over the top of the sciatic nerve. And if it gets tight, then it can squash the sciatic nerve and give us pain in our buttocks, which is uncomfortable and unnecessary. So if you stretch your piriformis muscle, then you won't get that problem. So we're crossing one leg over the other, and then lifting the bottom leg up to our chest as much as we can, so that I can feel the stretch in my muscle here. And then swap legs, and then pulling my leg up to my chest. And then let's just come back into that position again, and then we're going to try and lift this leg up. So this is another way to stretch a piriformis. So we're trying to get our foot up to our face. You might not be able to get it this high, but you need to get it as high as you can. And when you're stretching as far as you can, then you know that it's doing something. And then swap legs. You might even be able to get your leg behind your neck. I don't know if I can do that yet, but I'm working on it. So we're going to take our legs out to the side now, and then just stretch our hamstrings. We're trying to get our hamstrings as flexible as possible in this video, because as I said before, when you've got tight hamstrings, it pulls your pelvis backwards. And if you're really stretching a lot, then not only do you not have back pain, but you also just feel very mobile. And when you feel very mobile, it's very freeing. You feel like everything is easy, every movement is very straightforward. You don't have to overthink anything. So now we're going to stretch down and put our head on the floor. If you can't get down to the floor, then you just go as far as you can, and we're going to hold it for a count of 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's put our head down on one leg. So we want both hands together and ideally go past our leg, but we can just, if you can only get as far, like this far, you just want your hands together and just go down as far down your leg as possible. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the other leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then down into the middle again. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's just come up. So we're going to go into 4-point kneeling position now. Let's just start with some circles with our pelvis. We're trying to get our pelvis moving on our sacrum and lumbar spine, and then change direction. And then we're just going to do the cat and the cow position. So making a valley, and then making a mountain, a valley, and then a mountain. So we're posteriorly tilting our pelvis, and then we're anteriorly tilting our pelvis. So So moving it up and down, up and down. And then we're going to bend our toes back as far as they'll go. So we're getting 90 degrees extension on our toes. And then we're going to lift our knees an inch off the ground, so it's leg pull prone position. Let's just step our hands forwards a little bit, and then we're going to shoot forwards like a rocket into a plank. So we should have a straight line between our shoulders and our ankles. And then leg pull prone position, and then plank, leg pull prone position, and then plank. So we want to be thinking about our pelvic floor, and when you need the toilet, you have to work your pelvic floor to keep everything in position. So let's just do a plank. We want to be pulling our pelvic floor up and our belly button in. And then we're going to do leg extensions. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then swap legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to stretch into child's pose now. So sitting on our bottom and then stretching around one way. And then stretching around the other way. So this is child's pose with a twist. Let's do that again. So this is extreme flexion with side flexion. So it's good when we combine different stretches. So we're going to prop ourselves up on our elbows and do one leg kick now. So kick, heel, kick, down, kick, heel, kick, down, kick, heel, kick, down, kick, heel, kick, down. And let's just stretch our quadricep muscles. So we're lying on our front. In order to do this, we need to go into extension with our back. We're stretching our quadricep muscles. We're holding onto our foot with two hands so that we're symmetrically holding it. And then our knees should be touching together. And then swap legs. So our knees coming off the floor and our hip is touching the floor. So we're stretching our quadricep muscles, which are made up of four muscles, and one of them is the rectus femoris, which attaches above the hip and then below the knee. And then we're going to get hold of both legs together, and then we're going to rock. If you can't rock, then just hold the stretch. I'll try rocking a little bit. And then we're going to do the splits. Even if you can't do the splits, it's still very effective to try to do the splits to help our back. So we're doing a hip flexor stretch now, which are at the front of our hip, and then we're going to bend our back knee and stretch it up. So we're trying to extend our back and bend our knee at the same time. And then we're going to sit on that leg that we just stretched and stretch our hamstrings. And then let's just go into a split position. I've got cramp in my back leg, so I'm struggling at the moment. So we're going to bend our back leg. And then extend our back. And then swap legs. So hip flexor stretch. So we're extending our back as far as we can. And then bending the back leg. And then stretching our hamstrings by sitting on our bottom. And then going into the split position. So I haven't done the splits for a while, so I'm not as flexible as I was, but I'm going to be doing it every day, so I'm sure that I'll get back to it. So we're going to bend our back leg. So by bending our back leg, we're really putting our rectus femoris on a really big stretch, and then we're extending our back at the same time. So that's it for today. That's the end of low back pain session 2. Please subscribe to my channel for more Pilates exercises. Thank you, bye bye.